They don't respect you because they don't see your value. And maybe you've spent your whole life trying to prove yourself. You've been ignored, overlooked, underestimated. People talked over you. People doubted you. And deep down, it hurt because you knew you had more inside of you. But respect has always felt out of reach. Listen to me. Respect is not given. It's created. It's not about who's the loudest in the room. It's about who carries themselves with unshakable presence. And the truth, you can make anyone respect you when you master the psychology behind human behavior. So today, I'm giving you 5 psychological weapons, not tricks, not gimmicks, but timeless principles that will shift the way people see you forever. There's a reason silence feels so powerful. Because silence makes people listen. Think about it. When someone talks too much, when their words are scattered everywhere, you stop paying attention. Their voice becomes background noise. But when someone speaks less, when their words are chosen carefully, suddenly, every sentence matters. That's the secret. Respect is not earned by how much you say. It's earned by how much weight your words carry. And the less you speak, the more powerful your voice becomes. Look at the great leaders of history. They didn't fill the air with endless noise. They spoke rarely. But when they did, the world stopped to listen, because their silence made their words precious. You need to understand this. When you speak less, people lean in. They wonder what you're thinking. They wait for your opinion. You become mysterious, and mystery always creates respect. But there's another truth. When you speak less, you train yourself to listen more. And listening is one of the most powerful psychological tools you will ever have. Because while everyone else is rushing to talk, desperate to be heard, you are studying, you are observing, you are learning exactly how people think. And when you finally speak, you speak with precision. You hit their heart. You strike their mind. This is not about being quiet. This is about being intentional. It's about removing empty words from your life. No more useless chatter. No more meaningless talk. Every sentence should carry force. Every word should demand attention. Imagine walking into a room where everyone is talking over each other. Chaos, noise, distraction. But then you speak. Just a few words, calm, clear, direct, and the whole room goes silent. Because they feel the conviction behind your words. Because you didn't waste them. That is how you build respect. That is how you create presence. When you speak less, you also remove the chance of exposing weakness. The more you talk, the more you reveal. The more you reveal, the more power you give away. But when you keep your words sharp and limited, people never know what you're truly thinking. And what they don't know, they respect. So stop trying to prove yourself with words. Stop thinking you need to explain, defend, or justify. Your actions will speak louder than any argument. Your silence will intimidate louder than any shout. People respect those who know when to stay quiet. People respect those who let their presence speak louder than their mouth. When you finally understand this, you won't just talk differently. You'll move differently. You'll carry yourself like someone whose voice is rare. And when something is rare, it's always valued more. There's something you must understand. Before you say a single word, before you even open your mouth, people have already judged you. They've already measured your presence. They've already decided if you're someone to respect or someone to overlook. That judgment happens in seconds, not because of what you say, but because of how you carry yourself, because of how you own your space. Think about it. You've seen it before. That person who walks into a room doesn't even say anything, and yet all eyes turn to them. Not because they're the loudest, not because they're the most attractive, but because they radiate confidence with every step. They command the room without begging for attention. That's what it means to own your space. Owning your space is psychological. It's primal. Humans are wired to notice dominance, to notice confidence, to notice certainty. Your body speaks before your words do, and the truth is, your body can scream weakness, or it can project strength. Ask yourself, how do you stand when you enter a room? Do your shoulders curve forward? Do you make yourself small, hoping nobody notices? Or do you stand tall, chest lifted, chin up, shoulders back? Because posture is not just posture. Posture is a declaration. It tells the world whether you see yourself as powerful or powerless. When you shrink, people treat you as invisible. When you expand, when you stand tall, when you take up space like you belong there, people notice. And notice becomes respect. Owning your space is also about eye contact. Most people avoid it. They glance away, they look down, they hide, because they're afraid of being truly seen. But when you look someone directly in the eyes, calm, steady, unshaken, you show them something rare. You show them courage, and courage demands respect. Think about the greatest leaders. They don't fidget. They don't slouch. They don't shrink in fear. They walk like they belong wherever they go. They sit like kings and queens of their environment. They don't ask for space. They own it. And it's not arrogance. It's presence. It's the unspoken message that says, I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to fear. I am exactly where I need to be. When you own your space, people feel your energy before you say a word. They feel your confidence. They feel your certainty. And certainty is magnetic, because everyone is searching for it, but so few actually embody it. But here's the truth you need to hear. Owning your space is not just physical. It's mental. It's emotional. It's spiritual. You can stand tall, but if inside you feel small, people will sense it. They will see through the performance. Respect doesn't come from pretending. Respect comes from alignment, from truly believing you belong. So you must work from the inside out. You must carry the mindset that your voice matters, that your presence matters, that your existence is worth noticing. Because when you believe it inside, your body naturally projects it outside. Owning your space also means not apologizing for being there. Too many people walk into rooms with an invisible apology written all over them. They act like they're intruding, like they don't deserve a seat at the table, like they're temporary guests in their own lives. And people sense that weakness instantly. But when you enter a room and sit with quiet certainty, when you move with calm authority, when you don't shrink yourself for anyone, That's when people start to respect you without even knowing why. This is not about being the biggest. This is not about being the loudest. This is about carrying yourself with an energy that says, I am here. I belong here. And I do not need your permission to exist fully. That energy changes everything. It shifts how people treat you. It shifts how they respond to you. It shifts how they see you. And when you finally master it, when you truly own your space, respect follows naturally. There comes a point in life where you realize something painful. People will only treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Every time you tolerate disrespect, every time you stay silent when someone crosses the line, every time you swallow your anger just to keep the peace, you are teaching the world one dangerous lesson, that your boundaries can be broken. And when people learn they can step over you without consequences, they will keep stepping until there's nothing left of your self-respect, until you feel invisible, until you feel powerless. That's why boundaries are not optional. Boundaries are survival. Boundaries are strength. Boundaries are the invisible walls that protect your worth. But here's the truth most people are afraid to face. Setting boundaries will scare you, because boundaries demand courage. They require you to stand up, to say no, to risk upsetting people who might not like it. And that's why so many remain silent. They fear rejection. They fear judgment. They fear losing relationships. But let me tell you something powerful. Every time you fail to set boundaries, you lose yourself. And losing yourself is far worse than losing anyone else. You think saying yes to everyone makes you kind, but too many yeses will break you, because people start to expect it. They start to demand it. And before long, you are no longer living for yourself. You are living for them. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It's self-respect. It's the ability to say, this is where I end, and this is where you begin. It's the courage to say, I will not allow you to use me, to disrespect me, or to take advantage of me. And here's the psychology behind it. People respect what they can't control. When you have no boundaries, you are easy to control. When you set firm boundaries, you become untouchable. You send a message, I cannot be manipulated. I cannot be broken. I cannot be owned. Think about it. The strongest people you admire are not the ones who let everyone walk all over them. They are the ones who stood tall, who drew a line, who said enough. That is why people respect them. That is why people follow them. But boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They are about saying yes to yourself, yes to your peace, yes to your worth, yes to your time, yes to your life. When you protect your time, people learn not to waste it. When you protect your energy, people learn not to drain it. When you protect your values, people learn not to challenge them. And you must set these boundaries without fear, because fear is the weapon people use to keep you compliant. They'll say, you've changed. They'll say, you're selfish. They'll say, you're difficult. But what they're really saying is this, I can no longer control you. And that is the highest compliment you will ever receive. Boundaries also teach others how to love you. Without them, relationships become toxic, because love without respect is not love. Respect is built on limits. Respect is built on the courage to say, if you want to be in my life, you must honor my standards. And listen closely. People will test your boundaries. They will push. They will try to break them. But the more consistent you are, the stronger they become. Your no must mean no. Your line must never be crossed twice. Because the moment you break your own rules, you teach others that your boundaries are negotiable. Setting boundaries is also about protecting your future. Every time you say yes to the wrong thing, you are saying no to the right thing. Every time you waste your energy on someone who doesn't value you, you steal energy from the person you are meant to become. And that is the real danger, not what others take from you, but what you allow yourself to lose in the process. So you must build walls where there is weakness. You must lock doors where there is intrusion. You must guard your soul like it's treasure, because it is. And remember this, the people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. They will honor them. They will admire you for having them. The only people who hate your boundaries are the ones who benefited from you not having any. That's why you cannot fear the loss. You cannot fear the noise. You cannot fear being alone. Because when you set boundaries without fear, you are never truly alone. You are finally with yourself. There will always be moments in life that test you. Moments that ignite your anger. Moments that trigger your fear. Moments that push your patience to the breaking point. And in those moments, one decision defines who you are. Do you let your emotions control you? Or do you control your emotions? Because here's the truth. Anyone can explode. Anyone can lose their temper. Anyone can panic under pressure. But it takes real strength to stay calm when the world is burning around you. It takes real power to breathe when your blood is boiling. It takes mastery to hold your ground when every part of you wants to break. People think strength is about muscles, about force, about dominance. But emotional control is the highest form of strength, because the one who controls their emotions controls the outcome. The one who controls their emotions controls the room. The one who controls their emotions controls respect. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone lose it? Screaming, shouting, breaking down. Did you respect them more after that? Or less? Did they look powerful? Or weak? Because when emotions take over, reason disappears. And when reason disappears, so does respect. But imagine this instead. Imagine someone insults you. They try to get under your skin. They want to see you react. They expect you to lash out. But you don't. You stay calm. You hold eye contact. You let silence answer for you. Do you know what happens then? They lose power, and you gain it. That's the psychology of control. People feed on your reaction. The more emotional you become, the more control you give away. But the less emotional you are, the more unpredictable, unshakable, untouchable you become. Controlling your emotions doesn't mean you feel nothing. It doesn't mean you're cold. It doesn't mean you're empty. It means you don't allow temporary feelings to dictate permanent consequences. It means you choose logic over impulse, discipline over chaos, strength over weakness. There is immense respect for the person who stays calm under pressure, Because calmness is rare. Calmness is intimidating. Calmness is the mark of a leader. Picture this: the room is filled with chaos. Everyone is panicking. Voices are rising, decisions are rushed. But one person sits still, breathing steady, eyes sharp, mind clear. Everyone else starts to look at them. Because in chaos, calmness becomes magnetic, and that person becomes the leader, not because they demanded it, but because their emotional control proved they were the strongest. You see, respect doesn't come from showing how loud your anger is. Respect comes from showing how strong your control is. But here's what you must understand. Emotional control is not natural. It must be trained. Your instincts will push you to react, to fight back, to scream, to panic. But discipline means pausing, breathing, choosing your response with intention instead of impulse. It starts small. When someone irritates you, don't snap back immediately. When someone disagrees with you, don't rush to defend yourself. When a challenge feels overwhelming, don't collapse under the weight. Instead, observe, detach. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this worth my respect? Is this worth my peace? Most of the time, the answer will be no. And when you choose not to react, you gain something priceless: control over yourself. Because the hardest person you will ever learn to lead is you. Understand this: emotional outbursts are predictable. People expect them. And what is predictable is weak. But emotional control is rare. And what is rare is respected. When you control your emotions, you also protect your reputation. Because one moment of anger can destroy years of respect. One outburst can ruin trust. One breakdown can make people doubt your strength forever. But calmness builds consistency. Consistency builds trust, and trust builds respect. This doesn't mean you suppress your emotions. It means you master them. You channel them. You use them as fuel instead of letting them burn you alive. Anger can be transformed into determination. Fear can be transformed into focus. Sadness can be transformed into depth. But only when you remain in control. And here's the deepest truth of all. People respect emotional control because it represents something higher: self mastery. And self-mastery is the ultimate sign of power. The ability to say, I will not be moved by insults. I will not be shaken by pressure. I will not be controlled by fear. That kind of strength is unforgettable. So remember this. You don't earn respect by shouting louder. You don't earn it by reacting faster. You earn it by standing firm when everyone else is falling apart. You earn it by being the calm in the storm. You earn it by proving again and again that no one, not even your own emotions, can control you. Respect is not just something you demand. Respect is something you reflect. Because people don't remember what you say, they remember how you made them feel. And the truth is simple. If you want lasting respect, if you want loyalty that cannot be broken, you must first give what you seek. Most people misunderstand respect. They think respect is about being feared. They think respect is about being obeyed. They think respect is about control. But fear fades, obedience breaks, control slips away. What lasts is loyalty, and loyalty is born from genuine respect. Think about the people you admire most. The leaders, the mentors, the friends you would stand beside no matter what. Why do you feel that way? It's not just because of their power. It's not just because of their status. It's because they saw you. They valued you. They treated you with respect when they didn't have to. And that respect built trust. And that trust built loyalty. You see, when you respect others, you are planting seeds. You are saying, I see your worth. I honor your voice. I value your presence. And human beings never forget the ones who make them feel seen. That's why respect is magnetic. That's why respect creates bonds stronger than fear ever could. But here's the paradox. Most people don't give respect easily. They withhold it. They think, I'll only respect you if you earn it first. But the truly powerful understand something deeper. The act of giving respect itself creates respect in return, because respect awakens respect. Respect invites loyalty. Imagine this. You walk into a room full of strangers. Everyone is trying to prove themselves. Everyone is trying to be noticed. But instead of focusing on yourself, you notice others. You listen. You acknowledge. You value their ideas. You give them the dignity they crave. Suddenly, you stand out, not because you demanded attention, but because you gave it. And in giving, you become unforgettable. Respect is not weakness. Respect is strength. It takes strength to treat people well when you have the power to do otherwise. It takes strength to listen instead of dominate. It takes strength to lift others up instead of pushing them down. That kind of strength builds loyalty that no fear could ever match. Because fear may control people in the moment, but respect makes them stay when they have the choice to leave. Fear demands obedience, but respect inspires devotion. Fear creates silence, but respect creates loyalty that speaks for you even when you're not in the room. Think about it. When someone disrespects you, do you feel loyalty toward them? Or do you silently wait for the moment you can walk away? Now think about when someone respected you deeply, treated you fairly, valued you genuinely. Didn't you feel an invisible bond? Didn't you want to give them your best? Didn't you want to stand by them? Not because you had to, but because you wanted to. That's the power of respect. Respect is also psychological. When you respect others, you trigger a natural human response, reciprocity. People feel compelled to give back what they receive. So when you treat them with respect, they mirror it. They begin to see you as someone worthy of loyalty. And understand this. Respect is not about flattery. It's not about pretending. It's about truth. It's about recognizing the humanity in others, regardless of who they are or what they can give you. That's why the strongest leaders respect everyone, from the most powerful to the most ordinary. Because true respect is not selective. True respect is consistent. But giving respect does not mean being weak. It does not mean letting people walk over you. Boundaries still stand. Strength is still firm. Respect is not about lowering yourself. It's about lifting others while standing tall. It's about showing that valuing others does not take away from your power. It multiplies it. When you give respect, you are also building influence. Because people don't follow those they fear forever. They follow those they trust. And trust is built when people know you respect them enough to listen, to value, to honor. That's why respect, and loyalty walk hand in hand. One creates the other. Think about history. The most loved leaders, the ones whose names live on, were not remembered for cruelty. They were remembered for respect, for treating people with dignity, for inspiring loyalty so deep that people would fight for them, even die for them. That is the highest form of power, not fear, not control, but loyalty born from respect. Respect also creates something invisible but powerful: safety. When people feel respected around you, they feel safe to be themselves. They feel safe to speak, safe to trust, safe to follow. And safety breeds loyalty, because in a world where most people are dismissed, ignored, or undervalued, being respected is rare, and what is rare is treasured. So remember this: if you want respect, give it. If you want loyalty, earn it through how you treat others, because no amount of fear will last. No amount of dominance will endure, but the respect you give freely will return to you multiplied in ways you cannot imagine.